Welcome back to the show. Check out these headlines here. We got John Deaton and Elizabeth Warren's coming after him. We got to help him out here. Brook's Entwhistle in the news talking about crypto's a new normal. Corium and ISO 20022 do tell. We got algorithm in the digital euro. How about this? Is Fed now actually Ripple? We're going to take a look at it. Automated market maker votes back, ladies and gentlemen. The XRP ledger changing every day. And we got an XRP chart with actual dates on it. I want to see it. You want to see it. Somebody roll that beautiful intro.
Digital Perspectives with Brad Kimes. Come on in.
Welcome back to the show. You can follow us on Twitter and YouTube for exclusive content. Right now, it is $2.06 trillion market cap for crypto. The market is up 0.5%. And we have 51,200 plus right now for Bitcoin, 2,900 plus for Ethereum, 97.7 billion plus market cap for USD Tether. XRP at the number 6 spot at 54 cents. We're off by 0.2 on the 24-hour and off by 1.9 on the 7-day. Let's take a look at the range of price. 53 cents on the bottom and 55 on the top. We're closer to the bottom than the top on price right now, so we'll keep an eye on it. But I do have a chart that we all are going to want to see. You know, with the charts, it's so funny. Like, first of all, I have a great respect for all the people that do charts, no matter who they are out here. And I'm grateful that they share the information. And it's tough. It's a tough business to be in because we are in such an early market, and you guys know the rest of it. But I have to tell you, we have a chart today that's got some dates on it and some windows to pay attention to. And I always appreciate when they do that for us, not because I expect them to be right, because I just appreciate the time periods when they're able to share it, not because they're trying to be predictive or whatever, but they're basically just saying, pay attention to this area. We'll get into that in a moment. You'll want to see it. But I want to tell you right quick here. Look, you guys know Link2 does private equity, but let's just really quickly go down here because now there's more than 700,000 registered users. They're approaching 1 million registered users on the platform. Circle has filed the S1 to go public, and you can still get the private equity here on this platform. How about that one? Yeah. Samba Nova Systems, Artificial Intelligence, Astra Labs, Locus Robotics, Space Perspective, Ledger, Light Matter, Spark Cognition, Uphold. You guys know this. Automation Anywhere. These are remarkable companies and products that I'm just skimming over. Ripple, obviously. BitGo is on here. Axiom Space. Building the first ever commercial space station. I mean, come on, man. I mean, this is remarkable. Glint's on here. iTrust Capital. Oh, my goodness. I mean, the list goes on and on, as you can see. Chainalysis, you get it. Discord, Zipline, Link2 themselves intend to go public in the near term. So the opportunities are really, really endless here, ladies and gentlemen. And as I said, just crossing over 700,000 registered users. Everyone's understanding what's happening here. Click the link to the sponsor below. And remember, once you go and register and sign up there, you can ask them all kinds of questions right here in the bottom right-hand corner. And they're very, very helpful. What a great group of people. I want to show you this very quickly to start off here. Texas-based cryptocurrency firm Legilex, I guess it is, together with the Crypto Freedom Alliance of Texas, the CFAT, they have filed a lawsuit against the SEC. They argue the SEC has overstepped its bounds by classifying certain digital assets as securities. I wanted to show this and start this off today because we all know in the XRP community exactly how out of control the SEC's been, and so does everyone in the crypto space at this point. But I love seeing that there's another group that have come together to take up the fight to show that the approach of the SEC is way off base and out of control here. And speaking of way off base and out of control here, it's Elizabeth Warren, who is in full-fledged panic mode. And she really is. We all must band together to support John Deaton. I want to say right now, whenever you see Elizabeth Warren post something, always be polite, be professional. Don't be rude. But what I want everybody to do is to start hashtag vote Deaton. I've been running this hashtag and it's starting to trend. Hashtag vote Deaton. That's what we need to do under everything that we do to support him, and put it under everything that she posts. That way we turn every bit of her marketing into our marketing, right? We use every post that she makes to comment underneath everything she does, and just simply put hashtag vote Deaton, right? This way, everything that she does is a boost for him, right? We're going to get it. She's got to go. Start packing your stuff, Elizabeth. She's now reached out and tried to tie him into the MAGA Republican machine. And you know what? You know that that's not true. And you really know it's not true when somebody like Charles Gasparino comes out and says, calling John Deaton a MAGA Republican, I know MAGAs and I know Deaton, is pretty absurd and sounds desperate. Why is Senator Warren so worried? Well, we know why she's worried, because he's a real leader and she's not. Jesse Powell, yeah, the founder of Kraken, co-founder of Kraken, he maxed out his donation. And I hit old Deaton with something yesterday too. If you haven't done it yet, you can support JohnDeatonForSenate.com. Go there, help him out. Let's get her out of here. She's a problem. She's a super big problem, right? She's got to go. All right, now let's get to this, because we're going to help our fam, and we're going to get John Deaton in there. I've always wanted to unseat a senator, and it's just fitting to me that it just ends up being Elizabeth Warren. Tell all my grandkids about this one. I love it. Brook's Entwistle, ladies and gentlemen, is emphasizing that crypto is the new normal. Hello, I love that tone.
A use case for our XRP ledger and XRP, and built RippleNet, which is involved into a platform for cross-border payments with crypto native services on top. Think instant settlement, lines of credit, liquidity services. And we've been at this now for many years. We needed to build a use case first in order to really realize the dream that we're very much living today, as crypto has become this new normal in finance. I truly believe we're at an inflection point. The reason this event has 5 epic days of lineup across multiple cities in Australia, and with an outstanding group of speakers and a huge crowd dialing in from all over the world, not just on the ground, is because of this point. We're at an inflection point and then some, and certainly, as I'll argue later, even more so in the region.
Wow. We're at an inflection point and then some. Well, I tell you what, I like whatever Brooks is putting in his coffee. Bring it on, Brooks. We're ready. And so is Corium. They say that they have got some serious integration coming when it comes to ISO 20022, and Corium's technology can revolutionize cross-border payments. Now, I've been saying this for a couple of years now, and I'm super excited because I know that there were some developers from Ripple that went over and started working on Corium's network. And I was like, oh, wonder where this is going. Well, now we start to see it taking shape, don't we? Come on in. And don't forget, we're going to have Fabio and others from Corium and Sologenic on stage at XRP Las Vegas. Listen, very quickly, this is not an upsell. You're getting ready to find out where that automated market maker vote is on the XRP ledger. David Schwartz will be doing a fireside chat. Fabio and people from Sologenic and Corium are going to be on stage discussing the power of revolutionizing cross-border payments. Tell me how making this investment to come to this conference is not in your best interest. This is something you need to do because the things that are happening now could change the way we understand something we hold, like XRP. The features that are coming to the XRP ledger are redefining and transforming how XRP serves and the integrity and characteristics of it in the best ways. You want to come and be immersed in this, and I tell you, there's only a handful of tickets left to the VIP, and then we're down to general admission. And I tell you, it's a 2-day ticket. You really, honestly, I know how immersive and empowering this conference is going to be, and the material, the fireside chat from David. Wait till you hear the fireside chat from me and Christian Carlo. Oh my, oh my. We're going to be talking about the effects of Saudi Arabia joining BRICS. You ever heard Christian Carlo talk about that? We're going to be talking about stable coins. Could they be acting as a sponge to soak up hyperinflated T-bills coming back home? What about Project Sandman with the simultaneous intention to dump the US dollar? Yeah, we're going to talk to the co-founder of the Digital Dollar Project about those things on stage. They're very real. And when I asked him his points of conversation, he didn't say, no, that's silly, we're not talking about it. He said, no, these are great topics. We're going to cover them all. Uh-huh. That's why I'm telling you, not only is it a great time, yes, it's a great time, but this moment when we plan a conference, it's for a reason. This is a pivotal moment if you're in this space and you have exposure to XRP to find out what these changes are that are coming, because it may change what you know about what you hold. And speaking of what you hold, anybody out there holding Algorand right now is going to love this clip, because the digital euro is ready for use on the Algorand chain. Listen to them say it.
Yeah. So I think where you have to think about kind of this real world use cases is, what do you need to achieve? And I'm not talking about pilots. I'm talking about what are you trying to do at scale? Because the promise of Algorand is that you can deliver what you are building at scale. We have the throughput, we have the low fees, and we have the low environmental footprint. So a couple of very interesting use cases building on Algorand. And I want to say that some of the ones that I'm talking about have taken the time to be regulatorily compliant. And so a lot of this has been kind of percolating for a couple of years now, but now they've got in the approval from the regulators, which turns out to be as you know, a very important thing. So if you look at a digital euro payments platform called Quantos, for example, they got approval from the Dutch regulator. They have now just been accepted for Europe, the passporting under MiCA for the European Union. So now they're available in 30 countries. This is a digital euro built on Algorand. It's not a stable coin. It's not an algorithmic stable coin. It's the euro in digital form, but it now can move instantaneously. It can be used for micropayments, and it can be used for programmable payments. What we in Web3 call smart contracts can now be done with the digital euro on Algorand. Now, what comes with that regulatory approval is, not for nothing though, the regulators also wanted to take a look at the blockchain itself. So we also had to pass the regulatory muster as part of the Quantos' approval process. But all of their customers need to be KYC'd, and so it's a regulatory environment kind of thing. But it's pretty real world if you ask me.
It's pretty real world to me too. And, to go to Brad Garlinghouse's point in his most recent interview that we covered here on the channel as well, think about that. MiCA, 27 nations make up the European Union, and they've been able to come up with the regulation that 27 nations could agree on, and yet the U.S. has not been able to do it for the one country that they are, right? So this is why I believe it is going to be so very important that we get stablecoin legislation. I've said it a bunch of times. I'm going to say it again right now. I feel like, honestly, stablecoin legislation can be just as important as the Telecommunications Acts of 1996 for the internet. We shall see, right? We shall see. So let's go ahead and get into this right now. This is David Andolfado, former head of the U.S. federal government, deceiving how the Fed could delegate settlement to Ripple-like protocol for the digital dollar. These things have been thought of it at highest levels for sure, and absolutely right. Look, give this smoke a follow here. This guy is no joke, and so many others out here that are crushing it, and he's one of them. Here's what I want to say, and shout out to Dude Abides here that shared this below. This is from several years ago. I have covered both of these individual clips before, but there's a reason why I want you to listen to them today, okay? And the reason why I want you to listen to them today is because we know that Ripple is, in fact, a part of Fed now, and so are 60 or 90 other companies, whatever the number is at this point, right? But here's what we know. So for me, right, the Faster Payments Council, we know Pat Thielen's on it, VP of Global Account Management for the U.S. Faster Payments Council, which is really from the Fed, right? So this is remarkable. And it starts off with over 320 plus industry stakeholders coming together in this thing. So we know that there, and this is more recent here, like this is more from recent. This is older what you're going to hear. David Andolfado is a former St. Louis Federal Reserve official, period. An economist. He's very smart. He's also the same guy that wrote the FedCoin report that talked about how you could use XRP and to pre-allocate the remaining escrow to back a digital dollar. Take a
Say, how can you trust, the Fed to do the bookkeeping? I mean, like I said, my response is, well, you don't expect the Fed to kind of steal your money. I mean, if the Fed can print all the money it wants, it's not going to like mess around with your bookkeeping. So, we have this big spreadsheet, the blockchain if you want, but it's just managed by the Fed, and it's very cheap, much cheaper than Bitcoin, if you're willing to delegate the responsibility to a third party. But then the downsides to all of that, of course, is you'd actually suppose you didn't want the Fed to be responsible for processing the payments. I mean, suppose, the Fed will likely impose some KYC restrictions on some purchases. They might not process some purchases that you might want to undertake.
Good thing we're already KYC AML through RippleNet. Not one transaction hasn't been, just a reminder.
And so it was at that point that I said, well, we could, if we wanted to, extend the concept one step further. I'm not saying that this is ever going to happen, but just conceptually, you could imagine not FedWire for all, but kind of like a Fed coin, where what the Fed would do is actually just issue these, Bitcoin-like objects, but and they would enforce a par exchange rate with the U.S. dollar. That would eliminate the exchange rate volatility. But they could delegate the clearing of these payments to some third party, some sort of Ripple-like protocol or possibly even Bitcoin. I mean, we could delegate the...
And we know it won't be Bitcoin, but he says Ripple protocol, and he says it here too. Listen.
David, fantastic presentation.
Thank you.
I'm one of the fellows who raised his hand when you asked who uses Ripple, Joe and myself. And I just want to say, it's very... I'm very happy to see that someone at the St. Louis Fed respects it at the very least. And I'm sure that from all the good things you said about it, many people in this room would like to hear more. But you mentioned that you foresee peer-to-peer currency-agnostic payment clearing systems such as Ripple coexisting with institutions such as central banks in the United States. And my question is, how are we going to see that happen? What is it going to take?
So thank you very much. And, all the nice things I said about Ripple, everybody knows to short it. Well, how do I see it? I mean, like you said, Ripple is a currency agnostic platform. It really doesn't care too much about creating and managing its money supply, although it does have its native money supply. So, it's doing, the way I exposited the idea, Ripple is handling the processing of payments for many of the world's unbanked people. Okay, and that the Fed is one institution that's providing a type of currency that people could use as payment using the Ripple protocol. But there may be other currencies. There could be Bitcoin, there could be the yen. So, I mean, I see room for coexistence. I mean, I see it today. I don't see any reason to doubt why it might not continue in the future.
Responsibility of process.
And that's exactly how I see it too. This is why I show you this. And this is the future compared to that old clip. And we know that they're still there. Ripple is still a part of Fed now, right? And they're still part of the Faster Payments Council, which has graduated to Fed now. This to me is so exciting because of where we're going. I couldn't be more excited, to be honest with you. Now let's talk about where we're going as far as the XRP ledger, ladies and gentlemen. Give Cap a follow as well. Shout out to him and all the hard work he does out here. XRP ledger AMM vote have recommended 4 more years and 2 weeks, and it's go time. There you have it, ladies and gentlemen. Here we are. We're very close at 68%. We need to be above 80%. So just a few more votes, and we will be above 80%. And then a 2-week hold, nobody finds any more bugs, and this will permanently change the way the XRP ledger can serve and operate forevermore. It's not a change, it's a transformation. And it's a very big transformation. And I have to wonder, in the eyes of a regulator and a banker, just maybe, is this the transformation that they've been looking for so they can use it for payments, just like we want them to? Let's take a look at this. XRP to BTC chart. Eggrad Crypto says, official Bullrun announcement, ladies and gentlemen. Hold on to your hat. You're going to love this. This is really good here. If you look at this chart, you can see this big baseline here and how close we are. And it would be very history-like in repeating if it comes down and hits in this box and taps or touches or has a little spike below, as you saw here, right? This would be history repeating here, which would signal a huge leading indicator, not a predicted thing, but a leading indicator that we may see a repeat of a big spike. Now, what's interesting about this, and y'all can see this and where it could go, and that's Bitcoin to XRP chart. But what's interesting are the comments underneath. And there is Haynes who says, I see, will it take at least 3 to 6 months before a serious climb? Maybe people should realize patience is key with XRP. Eggrab Crypto rightfully says, agree. And I am in that camp that the window is between April and July of 2024, phase 1 of the bull run. And most probably phase 2 between November of 23 to March 2025. So there's your windows of opportunity. It doesn't mean that he's right or wrong, but this is an analyst just telling you these are the windows. And I tell you, I have to say to you, to that point, that sounds to me like this 2017 to 2018 bull run that I witnessed. Things took off around April, and they moved from like 2 to 6 thousandths of a penny up to the 20-cent range, right? It popped and then went up and then pulled back. Right? And then it had that, and then it went back down again, and then boom. And then at the end of the year into 2025 is about 26 days. And that bad boy went from 25, 28 cents all the way up to 384 for a high. And what will we see this time around? I don't know. But I tell you what, I'm excited to find out. Just like I'm excited to find out what we're going to talk about in the Freedom Zone. You're going to want to be in here, the IRS. You're going to want to know about it. Oh my goodness. Join us in the Freedom Zone, ladies and gentlemen. Income tax. Is it real? You're going to see a video that you are going to want to know about inside of the damn Freedom Zone here. Join us at digitalperspectives.com. Come on in. Not financial advice from me or anyone else.